Ever feel like phones are just getting ridiculously expensive? Do we really need a device that costs as much as a used car just to scroll through memes and check emails? Well, good news. Samsung's A series exists, and it's here to save your wallet. These phones are cheap but surprisingly good, so if you want a solid phone without spending a fortune, stick around. I've got 7 of the best budget Samsung phones right here, and of course, whether they can handle your endless social media sessions. Links are in the description if you want to grab one. Let's go! First up, the Samsung Galaxy A16 5G. This one's like the reliable friend who never flakes on you. Nothing too fancy, but gets the job done. You get a 6.6-inch LCD display, a MediaTek Dimensity 6060 Plus processor, and a 50-megapixel main camera, which is honestly impressive for the price. The 5000 mAh battery is an absolute beast. It lasts all day, even with heavy use. To put that in context, that's roughly 18 hours of continuous video playback or more than 30 hours of calls. In practical terms, you could spend all day messaging, watching videos, and using GPS on a trip without running out of juice. But if you're picky about screens, just know it's LCD, not AMOLED, so colors won't pop as much. A user on tech forums mentioned they love it for everyday stuff but wouldn't recommend it for demanding games like Genshin Impact or Call of Duty Mobile, where it might experience some performance drops on high settings. For those concerned about device longevity, Samsung promises 3 years of security updates for the A16 5G, meaning your investment will be protected for a good while. If you just need a solid, no-nonsense 5G phone, this is a great pick, especially if you prioritize battery life over a high-end screen. Now, let's step it up with the Samsung Galaxy A25 5G. This one's like showing up to a casual party in an outfit that's way too good, premium vibes for a budget price. It has a 120Hz Super AMOLED display, meaning buttery smooth scrolling and vibrant colors that make watching Netflix or YouTube a visual treat. The Exynos 1280 processor makes it snappier than the A16, and the 50-megapixel camera has optical image stabilization OIS, so your shaky hands won't ruin your night shots. For photography lovers, this is a significant change. You'll be able to capture moments in low-light conditions that would be impossible on more basic phones. The night mode feature makes the most of this hardware, allowing you to take surprisingly detailed photos even in dark environments. A friend of mine grabbed this phone recently and swears it feels way more expensive than it is, especially when comparing it to their old iPhone that costs 3 times more. Talk about having champagne taste on a beer budget. Battery life? 5000 mAh again, easily a day or more. With 25-watt fast charging, you can get roughly 50% battery in just 30 minutes, perfect for those quick top-ups before heading out. For multimedia enthusiasts, the A25 retains the increasingly rare 3.5mm headphone jack, along with microSD storage expansion of up to 1 terabyte. If you want a great display and solid performance without spending big bucks, this is the one. Then we've got the Samsung Galaxy A35 5G, aka the almost flagship. This one is dangerously close to Samsung's premium models, but at a way lower price, like getting backstage passes to a concert when you only paid for general admission. The 6.6-inch 120Hz Super AMOLED screen is gorgeous, with a peak brightness of 1000 nits making it perfectly visible even in direct sunlight. The Exynos 1380 processor is noticeably faster, achieving roughly 30% better performance in benchmark tests than the A25. You even get IP67 water and dust resistance, which means you won't panic if you spill coffee on it or use it in the rain. You can literally submerge it in fresh water up to 1 meter for 30 minutes without issues. Camera-wise, the 50-megapixel sensor has better low-light performance than the A25, thanks to a wider aperture and improved image processing algorithms. The 8-megapixel ultra-wide camera captures impressive landscapes, and the 5-megapixel macro camera lets you take detailed close-ups of small objects, a versatile set for any photography situation. The only downside? No headphone jack. If you're still rocking wired earbuds, it's time to let go or get an adapter. People say the A35 feels like a flagship, but at half the price. And I'd agree. The inclusion of dual stereo speakers, rare in this price category, really enhances the multimedia experience. For the security conscious, the A35 includes Knox Vault, the same hardware-level security system found in S-series phones, keeping your banking and personal data safe. If you want the best mid-range Samsung phone without hitting premium prices, this is your guy. Now for the Samsung Galaxy A15 5G. This one's like that friend who's always chill and reliable. Not the flashiest, but you can count on them. It has a 6.5-inch Super AMOLED display with a 90Hz refresh rate, offering vibrant colors and relatively smooth scrolling. The MediaTek Dimensity 6010 Plus processor is the same one we find in the A16, but here it's paired with a more energy-efficient display, resulting in a better overall balance. The 50-megapixel camera takes decent shots in good lighting, and Samsung's single-take feature lets you capture multiple formats, photos, short videos, filtered shots, with a single press. One user online said they bought it as a backup phone but ended up using it every day because it's surprisingly smooth for everyday tasks like web browsing, social media, and video streaming. For those who value multitasking, the 6 GB of RAM is enough to keep several apps open simultaneously without noticeable slowdowns. The battery? 5,000 mAh, just like the others. So, full-day use, easy. In real-world endurance tests, users have reported over 7 hours of screen-on time, which is excellent for this price category. If you want a super affordable 5G phone with an AMOLED screen, this is a great choice. Just don't expect lightning-fast charging. It's a bit slow in that department, with 15-watt charging support taking roughly 2 hours to fully charge. Next up, the Samsung Galaxy A05 S4G. This is as budget as it gets while still being decent. 6.7-inch LCD display, Snapdragon 680 processor, and a 50-megapixel camera. Nothing groundbreaking, but solid for everyday tasks. To contextualize the Snapdragon 680, it's roughly 20% faster than the previous generation, meaning apps load quicker and the interface feels more responsive than on previous similarly priced models. With 4 GB of RAM, you can run several light applications simultaneously without notable issues. The best thing, that battery. It easily lasts over a day with moderate use, and up to 2 days if you're not a heavy user. With its reinforced plastic body, it's surprisingly durable. Several users have reported it surviving accidental drops without issues. If you just need a phone for calls, social media, and YouTube, this is perfect. But no 5G, so if that's a deal breaker, you'll want to look elsewhere. One reviewer said they gave this to their grandma and she's loving it. So if you need a reliable, no-frills phone, this is the one to go for. Now, meet the Samsung Galaxy A14 5G, one of the best-selling budget Samsung phones. It's got a 6.6-inch LCD display with 90 Hz refresh rate, a MediaTek Dimensity 700 or Exynos 1330, depending on region, processor, and a solid 50-megapixel camera. The highlight? Samsung software support. It'll get updates for years. Samsung promises 2 years of major OS updates and 4 years of security patches, meaning you'll be covered until at least 2027 in terms of security. That's longer than some relationships I know. The 13-megapixel selfie camera is notably better than most phones in this price category, capturing more detail and better skin tones. Someone online mentioned they got this as their first smartphone and it's been great for school and everyday use. With its more refined design and textured plastic frame, it feels more premium in the hand than its price would suggest. If you want a budget 5G phone that won't get outdated anytime soon, this is a solid choice, especially considering its excellent value for money. And finally, the Samsung Galaxy A05 4G, the absolute cheapest phone here. It's got a 6.7-inch LCD display, Helio G85 processor, and a 50-megapixel main camera. People say it's surprisingly durable even if the specs aren't mind-blowing. To be clear about its capabilities, the Helio G85 is suitable for basic use and some casual gaming, but don't expect to run demanding titles on high settings. However, for WhatsApp, Facebook web browsing, and YouTube video playback, it works perfectly fine. A standout feature is its ultra power saving mode, which can drastically extend battery life by limiting functionality to just the essentials. Perfect for emergency situations or long trips without access to chargers. If you just need a phone that works and don't care about extra features, this is the best value option, especially if you're on a very tight budget or need a secondary device. So, which one should you get? If you want the best balance of performance, display, and camera, go for the Samsung Galaxy A35 5G. It's almost a flagship for a budget price. If you want the best 5G experience with an AMOLED display on a budget, the A25 5G is a fantastic pick. For basic 5G needs without spending much, the A16 5G and A15 5G are great options. If you don't care about 5G and just want something cheap that lasts, the A05s and A05 are your best bets. Still unsure? If battery life is your top priority, all of these have 5,000 mAh batteries, but the A35 and A25 will last longest with their more efficient displays. If camera quality matters, the A35 5G has the best low-light performance, followed by the A25 5G. And if you want a phone that won't feel outdated too soon, the A14 5G has the longest software support. No matter what, you're getting a solid Samsung phone without draining your wallet. Check out the links in the description, and if this helped you, drop a like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments which one you're picking. See you in the next one.